Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurudevo Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Yapyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Asmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vedya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Jai Guru. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we are in our last chapter, the 15th chapter. Which verse?
24.
Let's go grab some water. Okay. Is that right? 24?
Yes.
Mudha dhiyo dukkha evam maya vrijibrita shanta di buddhi vrityaikyan mishram brahmeti kirtitam. There is misery in the rajasika and tamasika vrittis. Thus Maya is manifested. Because of his identification with the vrittis of the intellect, which are sattvika, rajasika, and tamasika, Brahman is called associated Brahman. That is, Brahman is associated with the world.
Yes. Now, in truth, Brahman never undergoes a change. All of this association takes place in the mind. Brahman has no gunas. Only the mind has gunas. So, if the mind has some tamas in it, then it has some avarana shakti, some veiling. And the fruit of that veiling is, I think I'm a person. And I do not know that the world is Brahman. And then once that veiling happens, the tyranny of rajas starts to occur. Wanting, desiring, ambition, competition, comparison, anger, jealousy, revenge, all those afflicting emotions. That's essentially where our suffering happens. But in the sattvic mind, the pure nature of the self is clear, and the nature of the world is clear. So in the sattvic mind state, because there's no avarana shakti from the tamas, then even though the phenomenal world is perceived, even though thought goes by, I'm not deluded. I don't have jonesing. I don't have kartavya. This obligatory action. I've got to do something. Any thoughts on this? So, what are we doing with yoga? All the various forms of practice are to have chitta shuddhi, a pure mind. And with all the various things we've studied, it all goes back to viveka and vairagya. That firm conviction in the intellect that Brahman alone is real. And that the phenomenal world is mithya, illusory. That firm conviction in the intellect is known as discrimination between the real and the unreal. Vairagya, that desire to give up attachment to all experiences gained through the senses. No exceptions. And to give up identification with any form of self, starting with the body, up to and including Brahma, the creator. I want to be powerful. I want to control stuff. I want to be president. All of that has to go. This is how we attain this purity of mind, this chitta shuddhi, this sattva. Any questions or thoughts on this? Next verse.
एवं स्थिते त्रयो ब्रह्म ध्यातुम् इच्छेत् पुमान्नसाव नृशृङ्गादिमुपेक्षेत शिष्टं ध्यायेद्ययात् तथम्. Such being the nature of Maya and Brahman, the man who wishes to meditate on Brahman should ignore the objects which have no existence, such as the horns of a man, and concentrate properly on other objects.
Yes. So, all phenomena, without exception, gross or subtle, is imaginary. Seen, but not real. So here Vidyaranya says, focus on what's real. Aham Brahmasmi. I am. I is real. Had a new person in class last night. We were talking about the word Atman, how it's used in various ways in the Gita. And I said, what does the word Atman mean? She says, the soul. I said, no, it's yourself. Who sees the water glass? I do. That's yourself. It's not that I need to get a new self or make myself different or get it attached to God. Myself doesn't get realized. I am Atma Brahma. This self is Brahman. Didn't become it, can't stop being it. The problem is in my silly mind, where I have Anyonya Adhyasa. Tribute to myself the qualities of the not self. I think I'm the body. I think I'm the personality. I think I'm my job. I think I'm my relationships. I think I'm my political party. All of that's illusion, mithya. And then I superimpose on the phenomenal world. I externalize the qualities of the self. The sofa is over there, separate from me. Its sat is over there. Puneet is sitting there and he seems to be a conscious being. Chip is externalized. Then these things have the capacity to make me happy. I externalize my ananda. Truth, it's all Brahman. And the world is like a hologram. Brahma Satyam Brahma Nityam. And most importantly, where is happiness? It's my swarup. It's my own self nature. Tejo Mayananda used to talk about the 3 R's, reading and writing arithmetic. No. Renounce, realize, revel. Next verse.
शिलादाव नाम रूपे द्वे त्यक्त्वा सन्मात्र चिन्तनं त्यक्त्वा दुःखं घोरमूढ धियो सच्चिद्वे चिन्तनम्. In stone, etc., he should reject both name and form and meditate on existence. In Rajaka and Tamasika vrittis, he should reject the misery which is associated with them and meditate on existence and consciousness.
So, what appears as the world of name and form, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, it's all God. Don't get caught up in the light show. Keep the mind immersed, drowned in Brahma. Next one.
Shantasu Satchidanandam Strimphyevam Vichintayet Kanishtham Dhyamotkrishthasti Sanchita Kramadamina. And in the Sattvika Vrittis, he should contemplate on all the 3 existence, consciousness, and bliss. These 3 kinds of contemplation are successively called inferior, middling, and superior contemplations.
Yes. So you can meditate on the Sat, the existence of all the phenomenal world is the Sat of Brahman. You can meditate on the Rajas, all motion, all spanda, movement in the phenomenal world, gross and subtle, is just consciousness playing. only happiness there is. Remember, there's no such thing as worldly pleasure. It does not exist. There's just mediated tasting of the bliss of the self through a medium, and non-mediated when the mind is directly absorbed in the self. So simple in the end. I wouldn't worry about his 3 levels of meditating on tamas, rajas, and sattva. I think you can sum it up. If it is cognizable, knowable, apprehendable as an object of cognition, it isn't real. Let it go. Give up the kartavya, the struggle. Surrender, accept. So many different words for it. Next verse.
Mandasya vyavaharepi mishra brahmani chintanam utkrishtam vaktumevatra vishayananda iritaha. Even for a man of dull intellect, meditation on the characteristics of Brahman is good. To tell this only, quote, the bliss of objects, end quote, is described here.
Yes. So what is my swarup? Sat Chit Ananda. I am. Those of us who've been studying Mandukya on Saturday mornings, we've got our definition of reality with a capital R. That which is never subject to negation. If it has prior non-existence and seems to have apparent existence and then has subsequent non-existence, which, by the way, refers to everything in the phenomenal world. It is mithya, illusion. That which is never subject to negation is only thyself. When you ever not you? Nothing will affect you. Nothing can harm you. You can't be improved. You can't be diminished. You do nothing. You are prakasha, light of awareness that illumines the great picture show of the creation. And you have asparsha yoga. Without you, the self, none of this can exist or move as a being. Yet, it never really touches. Next one.
Audasinye tu dhivritte shaithilyaduttamottanam chintanam vasananande dhyanamuktam chaturvidham. After having had enough of enjoyments, when the mental modifications become indifferent to objects and become detached, the contemplation regarding the bliss of impressions arise, which is the highest. Thus are the 4 kinds of contemplation on Brahman described.
Yeah. So when we have mature vairagya, detachment, dispassion, Then we have the unloading of the unconscious. All those subtle things come up. Detach from them. And the knowledge of the self becomes steady. And the shanti, the peace of the self becomes constant. Chidananda Rupahana, Shankara says, my form, this consciousness. Going on.
Na dhyanam jnana yogabhyam brahma vidyaiva sakhalu dhyane naikagryama panne chitte vidya sthiri bhavet. As in these four types of meditation, there is an admixture of knowledge and yoga. They are not mere meditations, but should be considered as a direct means of achieving the knowledge of Brahman itself. The mind being concentrated by meditation, this knowledge of Brahman becomes steady.
So it's not only here when he's referring to yoga, I don't know if he means Raja Yoga. I don't know if he means this union yoga as it's used in Gita. I think the best way to parse it is the language that Gita uses is jnanam vijnanam cha. So our understanding and our direct experience come together at the same time. Shravana, we hear the truth in the scriptures from the Guru. Manana, we reflect on it till we are convinced of its veracity. And again, there is no better meditation than Sakshibhav. Take on the attitude of the witness our own mind. Watch the world. See what happens when kama, craving, arises. And it's the essence of suffering. See what happens when desire and object of desire come together. The craving ceases momentarily. Own your dukkha, your suffering. Own your ananda. And this then leads us to nididhyasana, long and continuous meditation of myself nature. Till we have tanu manasana, limitless mind, where the frequency and the volume of thought is slowed down. So we get some space between the thoughts. And in that space, with attentive faculty turned within, investigate the nature of I. See what's there. There's no person there. It's Chidakash, the space of pure awareness. Peaceful like a shoreless ocean. Don't believe me? Go there. Next verse.
Vidyayam Satchidananda Akhandaikarasaatmadam Prapya Prapya Bhanti na Bhedena Bhedakopadhivarjanat. In steady knowledge, existence, consciousness, and bliss shine as a single homogeneous entity and not as separate entities, their difference having disappeared with the disappearance of their upadhis or adjuncts.
So in the end, to use the language of the seventh mantra in Mandukya, in the end is Avyapadesha. You can't talk about it. All these descriptions, Chidakash, Satchidananda, Brahman, Atman, Paramatman, Paramahansa, these fall so short. All they can do is point. But in an auspicious moment, the thoughting ceases. All the struggle is gone. So, infinite glory seem to be myself. And even if thoughting happened, when are you ever not you? The existence of perception doesn't make you go away. You are always you are non-negatable. You are real. Next one.
Shanta Ghora Shiladhyascha Bhedakopadhayo Mataha Yoga Dvikvekato Vaisham Upadhinam Apakritihi. It is said that the adjuncts creating difference are the Sattvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika vrittis. Through either yoga or discrimination, these disturbing vrittis are removed.
So you can follow the Ashtanga yoga. They're actually removed through Bhakti yoga and Karma yoga too, as well as through discrimination. Jnana yoga. Or as Shankara says, it's the annihilation of the vasanas here and now that's considered liberation by the wise. All the various techniques of yoga are all forms of vasana purgation. That's all they are. Mind you, at the moment of realization, it's not, oh, I'm a realized person. I'm a Mahatma now. I need a jewel turban and I'm going to start charging money for my samadhi classes. The thunderous cry of the moment of realization is Aham Brahmasmi. not I know Brahman. Yeah. Big difference. Big difference. Then the person of steady wisdom looks back at the upadis, the body, mind, intellect, like a shadow. Like a husk. Just another illusory object. This great Leela. Appears as the world of name and form is Brahman. Next verse.
निरुपाधि ब्रह्मतत्त्वे भासमाने स्वयं प्रभे अद्वैते त्रिपुटी नास्ति उमानन्दोक्त उच्यते. When the associationless, self-luminous and secondless Brahman is grasped or known, there is then no triad of knower, knowing and known. So it is called infinite bliss.
So the triple T, the triple factor of knower, knowing, and known, only manifests when the individual knower arises and the phenomenal world. It disappears completely in deep sleep. Therefore, it's dependent on the mind. But when we withdraw our attention from the body, it comes to me. I am the knower. I am the means of knowledge. I am that which is eternally known. There is no triple factor in me. Samadhi, the world disappears. But even if the world appears, that sense of a personal sense of self, I'm Jim, and I'm this body, is gone. Next.
ब्रह्मानन्दाभिधे ग्रन्थे पञ्चमोऽध्याय ईरितः विषयानन्द एतेन द्वारेणान्त प्रविश्यताम्. In this, the fifth chapter of the section called the bliss of Brahman, the bliss of objects, has been dealt with. Through this door enter, that is, into the bliss of Brahman.
Yes. So to sum it up, the Vishaya Ananda, the bliss of objects, is not different than the bliss of Brahman, the bliss of the self. The phenomenal world is pretty, but it is shunyata. It's inherently void. If I see this situation is conducive and this situation is non-conducive, why? Guna and karma, the force of the past and the qualities of the mind. Does that mean I should quit my job? No. They're not your product at the level of the equipment. What about having a family? Should I have a family? I don't know. And karma. And none of that touches the self. What the person of steady wisdom knows is that's just the unfolding of the force of the past. There need not be any change of circumstance in order for me to be happy. And all circumstances will change. Whether I do or not. All will be well. It's all going to work out. Nothing will touch you. And all the people in the world, even though they may not know that their nature is brother, doesn't change the fact. They are all birthless, changeless, and death, whether they know it or not. Right, is that the end of the chapter?
There's one more.
Okay.
Priyadhya Priha Ronena Brahmanandena Sarvada Payacha Rinini Sarvan Swashritan Chudhamasanam. May the Lord, who is both Hari and Hara, ever be pleased by this bliss of Brahman. May he protect all creatures who take refuge in him and are pure in heart.
So, refresh my memory. What's the distinction between Hari and Hara?
I forget.
No. Hari is Krishna,
Lord,
isn't it,
yeah.
or Vishnu? I don't know. We'll have to look it up. Anyway, the Lord's the Lord. Sarva Maya, Sarva Mana. That's all Maya. It's all. So that's the last verse of the book?
Yep.
So let's do the first verse again.
Namaha Shri Shankarananda Gurupadambujambane Savitlasa Mahamoha Grahagrasaika Karmane. Salutation to the lotus feet of my Guru, Sri Shankarananda, whose only work is to destroy the monster of primal nescience together with its effect, the phenomenal universe.
So he starts with the salutation to his Guru, whose only work is to destroy ignorance and its effect. So thank you all. It's been a great journey through this text. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.